So the corona crisis hit hard all aspects of global economics, politics, security, and governance. And what it essentially showed is the huge lack of global leadership, both in terms of countries, great powers, as well as institutions and organizations. What it also showed is that regional organizations also unfortunately failed to provide a coordinated response, and even the most integrated and supranational ones like the EU failed to step in with a coordinated effort even within the borders of their own region or organization. So what we observe currently is a huge backlash or a huge constraint to regionalism policies across the globe. This doesn't mean, however, that regionalism is over. It means that this is the opportunity for regional organizations to reevaluate their purpose and their legitimacy, and to see how they can rebuild trust or recreate their agendas in the post-COVID world. And some organizations might be better positioned to do so than others, depending on many circumstances. So, for example, we have seen that EU was totally paralyzed by the fact that different countries resort to different policies. And in some countries, it even resulted in a sort of shift to more authoritarian rule, like Hungary or Serbia, for example, while other countries essentially resorted to self-help and protectionism even within the EU borders, which was necessary due to the nature of the crisis to some extent. Yet at the same time, it hit hardly against everything that EU was so proud to stand for, like open markets, free movement of people, and all these other kind of important values. On the other hand, organizations like Association of Southeast Asian Nations, for example, a leader organization in Asia, could also be another example of how a different approach to the crisis can be taken, even though in ASEAN countries also resorted to self-help policies and guarding their citizens from the corona crisis or the coronavirus. At the same time, they were also faster to coordinate and to think through what would be the possible coordinated and joint economic recovery solutions. And those solutions are not only something that is related to their own organization, but they also started thinking in terms of how they can involve other players, namely regional great powers, and eventually provide a collective front in international institutions to respond to the crisis. This is essentially also due to the fact that a number of international organizations, like G20, for example, were unable to provide this coordination. Neither of the great powers like China or the US stepped into the global leadership, and essentially neither of them has this opportunity or enough trust and legitimacy among the members of international community to do so. So there is, in fact, a window of opportunity for regional organizations to pick up and provide a collective leadership, which may eventually result in a collective response also translated into the global level.